And meanwhile, for the Redskins, taking on the Giants 20-14, boy, was it ugly. The G-men didn't even score until the fourth quarter. Washington moves up a spot and are now tied for first place with New York at 5-6. Struggling Philly is a game back at 4-7 with Dallas in last at 3-8. Stephen A., how shocked were you by Washington's win yesterday?
I'm shocked because Kirk Cousins is looking better. He's looking like he's improving. And even though he's the quintessential backup, as the one and only Brian Billick stated last week, in the end, I can't ignore 20 for 29 for 302 yards with a TD and not a single interception. Now, obviously, to some degree, that speaks against the Giants' defense, who I think has been suspect throughout this season. But I can't take credit away from Kirk Cousins. And Skip Bayless, didn't you love seeing Deshaun Jackson catch that deep 63-yard touchdown pass?
My heart good.
Didn't it make you think about? Didn't it make you think about Chip Kelly and the Philadelphia Eagles and how Chip Kelly surely didn't need this guy? I mean, he only had 2 receptions on the game,
but that was
but that one was all it took because again, just having his presence out there spreads the field for them as well. So I look at it from that perspective. Alfred Morris only had 78 yards rushing. You'd like to see him do a bit more for the Redskins, but Kirk Cousins is efficient. The Washington Redskins defense does put a hat on you. Eli Manning was incredibly disappointed. He reverted to the old Eli that Skip jokes about time and time again in terms of one who had led the league in interceptions on 3 separate occasions in his career. Odell Beckham Jr. This kid he's a bad boy. He's a stud, man, and you just fantasize about what if Victor Cruz was healthy along with Ruben Randle and Odell Beckham Jr. Could you imagine how lethal this Giants offense would be? But then you look at the Giants running game and you're thinking about Vereen at 15 yards and Jennings at 14 yards and, Darkwa at 2 yards. I mean, we're talking 33 yards rushing total for the game. You're the New York Giants. That's just not going to cut it. But you got to give a testament to the Redskins, their defense showing up. You got to give a testament to Kirk Cousins, who didn't blow it. And now here the Redskins are tied for first place and deservedly so, because they're playing smash-mouth football. And I give credit where credit is due for that with Jay Gruden and his staff. He's got them playing some football right now, and they seem to have an elevated level of confidence. They might not be a team to be ignored at this point.
I think not.
And they beat the Giants twice now.
Yeah. So, wait, they've beaten the Giants twice. I think the Giants won the first game, right?
No. Yeah, you know what? I'm not even sure. I got to look that up.
That's
I forgot
right.
about that.
I think the Giants won the first game 32-21, but that's okay. All right.
Oh, yeah.
I need to start out by going Kirk Cousins on the 2 Giants fans on this show, Stephen A. and this woman to my right here named Molly. You like that? You like that? Because I got to admit, I liked it. I really did like it.
Do you think I liked it? They almost pitched a shutout. It was embarrassing.
That's sarcastic.
Skip. We just had that one nice catch. That was the only bright spot.
Well, I heard you in our pre-show meeting, and Molly was not happy with her Giants.
No.
Shouldn't be happy because I got to tell you, I was shocked by that. I know that Kirk Cousins has been really good at home and really not good on the road, except for the game at Atlanta, which went to overtime, during which he threw a pick-6 that lost the game, but that's a whole other issue. And the Giants, it felt to me like, just didn't show up yesterday because they had beaten the Redskins pretty easily at home. It was 32-14 before a late kickoff return, made it 32-21. And again, Chris Culliver, maybe their best corner or one of their best corners, certainly a starting corner, tears up his knee in practice last week, and it's like Eli came out like, we got this. There's some kid named Quinton Dunbar starting at cornerback. He was a career receiver at Florida, undrafted, a rookie who caught 111 balls as a receiver at Florida, and all of a sudden he's thrust into a starting cornerback role, and half the time he's on Odell Beckham Jr. yesterday, and I'm thinking, uh-oh, Torch City for the Redskins, who haven't been great on defense anyway, especially against the pass, and all of a sudden, bad Eli emerges again. And it was that Eli that I just can't stand.
Jekyll and Hyde.
Yeah, it's that shrugging, what the heck? Okay, so I threw another interception kind of Eli. The first 2 were not all his fault. There was some bad luck involved in 2 tip balls early. They got away with those. But that one that he threw to this kid, Quinton Dunbar, who picked it off in the end zone that was a little behind Randall, in the middle of the third quarter that could have really gotten them out of the hole and back in the game with time to spare. You just can't do that. You can't. Eli's better than that against this team on this stage with a chance to separate from the NFC East pack. You win this game, and we're all having the conversation today. Well, looks like the Giants got this.
That's what hurt the most.
I know. It was just terrible because they go 3 for 15 on third down against Quentin Dunbar at cornerback. You're kidding me. So, again, that's a big egg laid by the New York Football Giants. At home, Washington's been very good. And now I look at Washington's schedule, and if Kirk Cousins can figure out how to win a couple of road games, they've got at Chicago, at Philly, at Dallas, all you would say at this point, you could win a couple of those games, I think. Even Kirk Cousins could win a couple of those. And if they do, they'll probably win the NFC East. That's a shocking development to me.
It is a shocking development, especially when you could. But what's more shocking to me is that this is the 27th ranked defense against the rush, and they held the Giants to 33 yards. Now, Giants don't have anybody that knock your socks off. I mean, when you saw that fantastic feature that Josina Anderson did on I'm sorry, the running back for the New York Giants. It wasn't Shane Vereen. It's Jennings, Rashad Jennings. I'm sorry, with him and his dad. It was a wonderful piece. And then you found yourself rooting for him to want to go out there and have a big game, rushing the football, because they talked about how his dad wasn't going to be able to make the game. But obviously you'd be watching from their nearby home in Virginia, and watching and looking forward to his son performing. And then he goes out, he rushes for 14 yards, and Vereen only rushes for 15 yards, and this is against the 27th ranked defense. Seems to make no sense. The Giants, on a lot of occasions, just leaves you scratching your head. You're like wondering, what in God's name are these guys doing? And so I found myself looking at them yesterday, not being able to generate anything whatsoever on the ground. And I knew Odell Beckham Jr. would have a decent day. But you just said to yourself, well, you didn't expect Eli Manning to revert to old Eli. And then you certainly didn't expect this running game to be as paltry as it was. So I have no explanation for the Giants, but maybe that's the problem with them. We never have an explanation for the Giants, on the good side or the bad side.
Hail to the Redskins, I got to say it.
How about that?
Listen, it was rough. The division up for grabs again, and obviously all 4 teams have a losing record. We're here for you to get your post-Thanksgiving Monday off on the right foot. Check us out on Instagram right now. I give you today's complete rundown, and when we come back, it's an end of an era in the association. Mamba out.
Ultimately, it's a decision that, I had to make. What do I feel? Do I want to play again, or don't I? And it's a very simple question, but it's a hard question to really look in the mirror and ask yourself. And the reality is, no, I don't. So why belabor it?